Okay, this video, if I was Surgeon General, and the likelihood of that of happening is about as likely as winning the lottery. But number one, I'd remove fluoride from the drinking water. It's a rat poison. It causes lower IQ, leaky gut, increased risk of cancer, lower sperm counts. It's all bad. Okay, it also forms complexes with aluminum to help it cross the blood-brain barrier, makes it less polar. I would remove aluminum from the drinking water. It's a major neurotoxin. They're both in there to make the population stupider and more docile. Okay, this has been known for a long time. That's what it does. That's what they want in the population so they could, destroy the country, turn it into a third world crap hole. Okay, high school health classes should learn water purification. If people knew water purification, just the basics of what is involved in, carbon filter, reverse osmosis filter, distillation, they would care a lot more about their water and it would be better, and they wouldn't allow fluoride in the toothpaste or the dentist. For the dentist, I would forbid mercury to be in amalgams. I would forbid the root canal procedure. Okay, you don't even get me started. If you read about it, you'll be amazed at how bad it is and all the toxic chemicals they put into people. For example, I would review all the dental chemicals, the medical safety data sheets. No more formaldehyde, and there's a lot of other really, really, really bad ones. Okay, no more fluoride cleanings, none of this nonsense. Okay, next in clothing, I would recommend, organic cotton, even maybe subsidize that. I'd forbid formaldehyde, which they put in the no iron shirts, for example. In high school health classes, instead of putting bananas on condoms, I would teach them about venereal disease. They would have to learn all about herpes. They'd have to learn about bacterial venereal diseases, for example. They would have to be taught that promiscuity increases the likelihood they'll end up divorced. The fact that if you get an abortion, it increases your risk of having breast cancer. They would need to know all that stuff. Teach them, the low-fat, low-sodium vegan diet with no oil. Public health stuff, of course, the vegan diet and whatnot. I would stop subsidizing GMO corn and soy and anything else sprayed with glyphosate. Any GMO thing will not be subsidized, nor anything sprayed with glyphosate or atrazine. This is poisoning the public, okay? I would have some subsidies to help organic food start getting started. We don't need GMO. It's just a trick to take over the food supply and bring us back into slavery. That's what that's all about. I would reevaluate all the food additives, MSG, MFG, studies on that. And, everything labeled as grass, I would have it reassessed. Grass is generally regarded as safe because many of those things aren't really safe. And herbicides for safety. And also I would institute testing for heavy metal contamination, because tons of protein powders and spices, anything in a powder form, you got to worry about it being contaminated with heavy metals. That's been shown through the food forensics book. It's been shown through Consumer Report studies, for example. Lead Safe Mom has tested a lot of things too. So we would test stuff. Okay, that would be valuable information. You could also, like now for medical, I'd get rid of anything routine. You don't just routinely go to the doctor, let them poke you all over the place and just randomly find things that are normal variants and then turn them into disease. So none of this routine checkups, none of this routine screening stuff. People think they have a problem, go. But you end up with tons and tons of false positives when you screen. Okay, I've been involved in cancer screening for over 30 years, and I can tell you I would never do it based on knowing a lot about it. Most people end up having a turtle and they get worked up for that. We've been through that before. There's turtles, rabbits, and vultures in terms of cancer types. I would review all the data on the common methods, things like, cabbage, stents, etc. And the patient should be informed of this and of other things. What's the true informed consent, risk, benefits, and alternatives. So anyways, if I ran the zoo and was Surgeon General, that is what I would do.